Hey, Star fam, how are we doing? How are we doing? How are we doing? How are you guys? I am so sorry that I have been gone. I know we talked about when I disappear, letting you guys know. Listen, your girl got strep throat. Like, I've never in my life had that. I thought it was like mono. I thought that was something you get when you're a teenager. You're kissing a lot of people. But I don't know how I got it. I think I either got it from a cookout that I went to or just, I don't know, Publix. I don't know where I got it from. But I had it and it was the worst thing ever. When I tell you that COVID was easier, I'm not lying. Strep throat had your girl down. I just got my voice back Sunday. I was messed up. I don't ever want to battle with that demon ever again. My God, today, COVID was easier. But anyway, come on in the room, Star Fam. I'm glad to be back. Come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Everybody sing, come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Come on. So glad to be back. How
How are you guys doing? OMG. Every summer? Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I literally had a breakdown. My mom, my poor mom, we had went to get me like some soup because that was all I was on. I was on like soup and all fluids for 2 weeks. Yes, I'm snatched. But I think it's called Viva Chicken. They have like this cilantro soup, which was really, really good. I had it like 3 times. It was really, really good. But we went there and I didn't want to cough because since COVID, since 2020, you don't want to cough in public because everybody just freaks out, right? So I had to like cough. So I walked out of the restaurant and I had a coughing fit in the parking lot and I broke down crying. It was so painful. It was so painful. My mom had to come and pick me up because I just, I'm an actor, so I'm dramatic. But I was in a lot of pain and I just collapsed in the parking lot. And I was like, I don't like how this feels. It was a nightmare. COVID was easier. COVID was easier. My God, today. And COVID didn't last as long either. I got COVID and I had symptoms for like 3 days and I was good after that. Strep had me down for 2 weeks. That's insane. That is insane. Never again. And whatever I can do to prevent it, Lord, I'm doing it. I wear gloves everywhere. I was always masked up, but now I'm not playing. You know what I mean? It's not a game. I just started my Lysoling again. I'm not getting that. Hey, Marlene, how are you? Hey, Alana. Thank you for being here. What's up, Vodka? Hey, Aoife. I always mess this up. Aoife Empathy, what's up? Hey, Nikki. Hey, fam. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you for being here. Hey, Bex. Thank you. Hey, Greta. Oh, what's this? Pride Heart Rainbow. What's this, Greta? I can't. This is how it looks in StreamYard, and I can't click on it. What is it? Hey, Josh. Hey, Ajubi. Hey, Medina. We in here. Hey, Tiny. What's up, Dr. Rim? Hey, sup, people. What you studying? Hey, Dwayne. Hey, Desiree. Listen, to be honest with you, I was only going to do the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but then my DVR just instantly played Summer House right after, so I watched Summer House, and then I was like, you know what? Since I'm doing it, let's just check out Vanderpump, and I was livid watching Vanderpump Rules, and I also watched Secrets Revealed, so I was just like, why not? Let's talk about it too. Josh said, still haven't seen Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. Is it worth the watch? Yes, it is. It's a slow burn. I will give you that. It starts off really, really slow. So you are catching it at the right time where you can binge watch it and you don't have to wait every week to figure out if you like it. I would say binge watch it. It's really, really good. Hey, JL. Hey, Courtney. How are you? Hey, Coos Girly. The pain. Like my family had to help me go to the bathroom. Like it was a mess. The chills, the fever. Absolutely not. I have never been that sick before in my life. I've never experienced anything like that. And I had COVID. And I got it from patient zero. Okay. So I never in my life. Never in my life. Oh, Tiny said enjoying a public holiday, aka long weekend in South Africa. Tiny, forgive me. I was about to say y'all celebrating Juneteenth, but what's the holiday you guys are celebrating? L Boogie said, oh yeah, I got that one. Hey, Joy. Thank you. Thank you so much, E for Empathy. Thank you. Hey, Spency. How are you? Hey, Missy, bonjour. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I've had this hair since before I got strep because because we were striking on Friday. Then I hopped on a plane and went to Atlanta. And so I just like put everything right here where my studio is. And I don't know why I didn't take, I think it's just been there so long. It is what it is. But that's right. That's right. Strike on. Strike on. Vaca said, I'm loving the season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Also, the Real Housewives of Orange County seem like it's going to be a good season. Did you watch the Real Housewives of New Jersey last reunion? Teresa and her brother are broken. Yes, I did, and I have some thoughts about it. But I did a video, and you guys will see it probably later tonight, if not later tonight, Saturday. But New Jersey, it like they have to put it on pause. It's terrible. Even diehard fans are like, this is a lot. It's not fun anymore. Oh no, Spency, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I've been doing tea. I haven't been doing green tea. I've been doing like ginger and peppermint and turmeric tea. But I'll try green tea as well. Oh, I do. I will say I was getting ready and I was like, I'm glowing. And I think it's just because like the cheekbones are starting. Shout out to Strep. Yeah, it reduced me to a child. I was baby Nikki for 2 weeks. I was a mess. You know what? Let's talk about that. Asa too. I hope, pray for me. I hope I'm saying your name right. Says, I also like the new season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't know why people feel like it's boring, but hey, this is the thing. And we talked about it before. The fan base has got to let go of what Atlanta used to be. NeNe's not coming back. She sued Bravo. They settled out of court. She can't come back on the network. It's just not going to happen. Lord knows what's going on with Portia. I feel like, I personally think she should come back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta because I don't think that any other show shows her favorable, and I don't feel like I don't think that she realizes that her personality does not come off very well on different shows. Sometimes it gives Mean Girl, sometimes it gives Bully Portia. I'm just sorry, from the things that I have seen you on, it's just not a good look. I feel like the Real Housewives of Atlanta protected you and made you look great. What's her name? Phaedra. She is on Married to Medicine. She is not going to come back, and she can't come back because of Kandi. Kandi is not going to leave. Bravo is not going to let her go because she is a celebrity, and you need a celebrity on these shows. That's why some of the other shows are lacking. And I also think that they're trying to rekindle a formula that only worked with the ladies that started this franchise. So I feel like in order for Atlanta to regain the fan fodder that it used to have, I think it just needs a full recast. But that is not to say that this season is not good. I feel like the ladies are bringing it, but I think that because there are some ladies who were here for older seasons, and those seasons were, just popular, hugely popular, doing Vanderpump Rules reunion numbers on a regular, right? Because of that, people cannot release that popularity from their minds, and they are obsessed with the old cast. But even if the old cast didn't have those issues with Bravo, or just not wanting to be on the show anymore, or with other castmates, and came back, it still would not be the same, because these ladies now are richer and they have more fame, right? So they're not in the same position that they were before. They are no longer as hungry as they used to be. They won't be on their grind. They won't be as authentic as they used to be. It just will not be the same show. But I think the Atlanta fans, unlike any other housewife show, the Atlanta fans will not let go of that superb, I will give you that, superb old cast. They won't let go. They won't let go. I feel like in order for this cast to let go and Atlanta be able to bloom and become something else without, the shadow of the old cast like hanging over them, they just need a full recast. I feel like that's the only way it's going to work, because even if the season is good, people are always going to want the old characters back, as long as we have old characters from those very popular seasons on this show. They're just not going to be satisfied. Coos Girly said, Lord, I know that feeling. I'm over here with bronchitis and trying to stifle a cough is the worst. Yeah, don't cough in public. Everybody turns. Hey, Marlene, thank you so much for the super chat. I cannot find my clicker. I think it's because I've been going back and forth to Atlanta and LA far too much that I'm just starting to lose stuff in the process. Marlene says, my husband used to say my baby thinks he's being raised by a lesbian couple because he hears your voice. Kiss the baby for me. OMG. That is so adorable. Thank you, Marlene. Greta said YouTube has these new pride emotes in the chat. Oh, wait, can I see it? I don't think I can see. Yeah, I can't see anything. Hey, Christina, how are you? Hey, Candy Cane. I love that name. Said, imagine what those poor babies go through. Poor babies. What did I miss? Baka said, I keep hearing that Vanderpump Rules, but that is the only one I never watched before. Is it fun? Oh, it's a good show. It's a good show. Oh, thank you, DGF. NTR said, never seen either, Baka. Don't see that changing. Vanderpump is good. Yeah, I just finished that up. Yeah, I hated it. Changed my appetite. I was nauseous all the time. It was a nightmare. That's why I just was not in any position. I'm off of medication. I got my voice back. I'm good. Now I can do my lives. But I was nauseous. I was weak. I did not have my full voice, and my lungs were not at full capacity. So I couldn't do much of anything. I was finally able to work out today. That felt great. I'm back. Never again. Asa, I think it's Asa, said, I don't care about the Vanderpump thing. Those people are acting as if they are the first ones getting cheated on when they are the same thing. Vanderpump, this is the thing. And I always say this. The thing that's so good about Vanderpump Rules is that there's no hero. There's no hero. Ariana has emerged as a hero because Sandoval and Raquel are just so freaking evil. But the good thing about that show is that you really didn't have anybody to root for. It was just awful LA people, awful, pretentious LA people. And you were just watching this train wreck in action every week. That was a good thing about it. Santino said, not Juneteenth. I'm actually I'm on vacation right now for 2 weeks in South Africa. Oh, that's nice. I want to go to South Africa. Samantha said, hey, Nikki, sorry to hear about your strep. Oh, thank you so much. Glad you're feeling better. So excited to catch this live. You have no idea. Oh, thank you for being here, Samantha. What brand of ginger ale? You know the good old Canada Dry. Hey, Joe. Tiny said June 16th is Youth Day. Oh, okay. Commemoration of the youth learners who went on a peaceful protest on June 16th, on 16th of June, 1976, and were shot at. And it was shot at by the apartheid police. So it's kind of in the Juneteenth family. Okay. Well, happy Youth Day. I like that. Hey, Shanty, how are you? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Josh said, I just watched the reunions. We're catching up on old shows. If you want to start Vanderpump, I feel like if you have the time, I would binge Vanderpump. It's good. There's just certain stuff you gotta know. You gotta know. Oh, Asatu! I was wondering. Hey! Hey, TT. You know what? I did not know the show aired. What channel is it on, Zena, or streaming service? What channel? Drewski said, I'm not sorry. Portia is awful person from what we've seen, and it's time for who she really is to be exposed, I believe. What you're saying? Joshua said, thank you, Nikki. People hold on to the Real Housewives of Atlanta nostalgia too much and can't move on. We miss the girls, but they wouldn't be the same if they returned. Yeah, it won't be the same. We just got to let that go, but people will not let it go as long as older cast members are still, as long as OGs are still on the show. JB says they were going to bring Phaedra back, but the budget wasn't there, according to Carlos King. I have conflicting information, and the conflicting information is that Kandi was going to leave. But you know what? Carlos could be, who knows? Who knows? Allegedly. Andy Cohen. He loves her. I'm telling you right now, she's one of his favorite housewives. She's one of his she's a fave. Andy Cohen is the connection. He was going to get her back on Bravo if it was the last thing he ever did. Hey, Joy said, I don't get people calling Real Housewives of Atlanta boring this season because it's full of drama. However, this storyline with Marlo and Kandi is way too dark for my liking. Yep. But I do enjoy an activated Kandi. Listen, Marlo making her work. And I will say this, if you don't like Marlo, get used to seeing her, because the way she got Kandi activated, she's not going nowhere. She's not going nowhere. Brunswick Boy 86, what's up? Said, I'm just now getting over a 2-week sinus infection. I get sick more in the summer than in the winter. Me too. I never get sick in the winter. It's the summer. I never get sick in the winter. Well, does LA really have a winter? But you know what I mean. Even back in Philly, I never got sick in the winter. Never. Hey, Miss T, how are you? How are you? So glad you're here. Hey, Sierra. Sierra said, I'm here for how irrelevant Kenya is this season. Come on, sis. Be the back burner bitch thing. Spency, I'm doing that this weekend. I have not been doing much of anything. I've just been resting. And this is my first week back to doing everything. So I'm catching up this weekend. I think I have 5 episodes left. So I'm just going to binge them this weekend. And then we'll do a live on Monday after the Real Housewives of Atlanta one. Hey, Kiki. Jasmine, what's up? Said, yes, where's Robin from Real Housewives of Potomac football cover story? Oh, I miss y'all. Hey, Shanae, thank you. Bex, thank you for the super chat. Bex said, recently watched the season 9 of Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion and forgot how intense, our gate was. I wouldn't have let Phaedra back on anything. It was dark. Thank you for the super chat, Bex. Thank you. Yes, V said it's my 30th. Woo! I share a birthday with Tupac, so I was born cool. I know that's right. You know what we gotta do, Yasmin. Let's go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yasmin. Happy birthday, sis. There's a new happy birthday, a new black happy birthday, and I gotta learn it. That's the church one. I gotta learn it. I was vibing to that today. Courtney said, I'm on a 4-hour drive home and glad to have NikkiStar and fam to accompany me on this long drive. 4 hours? I can't do it. I did 12 hours from Philly to Atlanta, and it was the worst experience of my life. My family was talking about doing it again, and I said, well, I will meet you guys in Atlanta. I'm not doing that from Philly next year. I'm not doing it. I am not. A 12-hour drive almost broke me. 3 hours is good. Vegas, I did the 4-hour from here to Vegas. I can't do 4 hours. 3 hours is my breaking point. So I'm keep you on my prayers, Courtney. Stop if you need to. Yasmin said Vanderpump Rules was a fun binge for me. It started getting repetitive, but even when I got annoyed with something major would happen to pull me back in. That's the thing. They're great reality TV. Here's why I say that. Because although the whole cast is actors, right? They all came out here to be actors, but they got on this show. It was just like, the hell with acting. This is a good check and good notoriety, right? So they all perform for the cameras, but real life happens and they bring that to the show. That's why this cast is so good, because they're performers who are allowing their real life to be brought into the show. And although they're still performing and acting it out, we're still able to see parts of their real life, like every detail. They're not as messy as they were back in the day. And I think that's just because they were young and dumb and just wanted some fame and a nice little check. As they have gotten older, they have been keeping a little bit more secrets, close to them. But they still all put on a show. And that's why I think it's a good season, a good show to binge. I wouldn't either. Like, she's not going to be broke if she leaves the show. She's always going to be relevant because her pen is ridiculous. However, this is still a nice check, and I wouldn't leave it, especially after she's been on the show for 10 years. Her check is nice. I wouldn't go anywhere either. Let me get a couple more, and then we will hop into it. Hey, Nia, what's up? What's up? Pink Petal said, I just want to see more fun. Activated candy can be entertaining, but at least let the beef make sense. Yes, this is the thing. I like activated candy. I think we need a middle of the road activated candy because, I only been in Atlanta 2 minutes, but, activated candy is Atlanta candy. And I'm just like, you at work. Give us a middle of the road, girl. This is a little too scary. Pull back. Let me get this from, hold on. Oh yeah, try it. It's good, Tiny. I want to start reviewing the next season. If I'm not booked, Jesus. Pray for the entertainment industry. Tracy said, Star family, please subscribe to Nikki's second channel, Nikki.Star at Home. Yes, thank you all so much. I'm going to post a vlog this Sunday. So if you've missed the vlogs, don't worry, they are coming back. But I also have been posting cooking content over there as well. Absolutely, Miss T, the show was on the chopping block. Sandoval saved everybody's check. I know, Josh, not scared. I just don't think it's a good look for her or the show. Thank you so much, Sebastian. We're going to end right here with Tracy. Tracy said, Star family, please like the video. It helps the channel grow. We're looking to get to 25 million by the end of the year. It's summer. We can do it. I know that's right. Let's get into the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I will say this, and I'm just going to bring this up because we've been talking about it. Right after this episode, Portia was on Watch What Happens Live, and Watch What Happens Live, we're doing Vanderpump Rules, Watch What Happens Live numbers. And they always do those kind of numbers when Portia is on. It could be Portia with anybody. It could just be Portia and Andy, and they will do great numbers. Normally, Watch What Happens Live is doing like 200,000, right? When you get like a Portia, they're closing out of 1 million. That's like or close to it, right? And because of that, I think that if they can give her a contract that would make sense, they just should bring her back. And this is why. I know I said, the fans will not be happy with the old cast and, until we recast them. That's just not going to happen. Candy's not going to leave. Kenya's not going to leave. None of these ladies are going to leave. And as far as I'm concerned, Kenya and Candy are safe, right? And Marlo. But I just feel like they're not going to go anywhere because at the end of the day, this is a really nice paycheck. They get, paid. They make what a lot of us make in a year in 6 months. I mean, what a lot of us make in, a lifetime in 6 months. So it's good money. They're not going to leave. And because of that, if they're going to keep some of the old cast, I feel like you got to bring Portia back because the fact that that just her presence alone is able to garner that many views for Watch What Happens Live means that the fan base, the Bravo fan base, not just Real Housewives of Atlanta, loves her and loves seeing this woman on this network. So I feel like they just need to find a place back for her on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And, I'm not saying, play to her like I feel like they do to other cast members. But if we're talking numbers, they like her. She's well liked. The viewers, the Bravo viewers, love Portia Williams Guadalupe. What's her last name? Simon. They love her. So I was just, when I saw those Watch What Happens Lives number, I was just like, of course, it's because it's Portia. Atlanta needs to find a place for her, because I think that she will get a few other people activated, because I feel like in that, just within this Real Housewives of Atlanta, hemisphere or whatever, she works well in that. I haven't seen her work well in anything else. So, go back to your roots and get a bigger check. Moving on. I'll do it. Throw your tomatoes if you must. I wasn't going to say anything, but since we're talking about bringing people back, I feel like Kim Zolciak needs to come back. I know. Here is why. We got to get this story. Her and Croy are a mess. They are fighting with any and everybody who will listen. Croy stay on Instagram doing a live, dragging his ex-wife in her wigs. We need the story from the horse's mouth. I feel like she should come back. I feel like if we're going to do anything, bring her back, bring back Portia and Kim Zolciak, and cap it. And let them play with the new people. But I just feel like we need, I see the tomatoes. I love y'all, but I feel like she would come back. Not that she would come back, she would, but I feel like she would be a good comeback along with Portia, because Kenya will be there to check her and will be able to get the story. Fire her next season. But I feel like we got to get this story. Y'all don't understand. Back in the day, broke Kim Zolciak was putting in work. We didn't like her. We didn't like none of them when they started getting money and acting like their booty don't stink. But Kim is broke. She gonna give us a show. Throw your tomatoes if you must. I got a... What the hell is this? Got it. Oh, my Cash App limit was raised. I know that's right. I got a Cash App from Missy V. Thank you, Missy. Missy said, this is for Portia Williams Guadalupe. I know it's something with a G. But, I think they both should come back. You can disagree. I feel like the trailer for this episode that was played in front in the beginning of this episode, I think the reason why we got that trailer, which wasn't like a mid-season trailer, but it was a trailer of all of the issues that Kandi and Marlo have been having. I think the reason why we got that trailer is because that trailer is letting us know what the season is going to be here on out. And I think the season here on out, or until we get to Drew and Ralph, their issues, if we do see that on the show, but I think from here on out, it's going to be a Kandi versus Marlo. I do not see them making up this season. I see them taking this all the way to the reunion, and I see this getting nasty. And because I see that, I'm really concerned about what the hell is going over there at the Real Housewives of Atlanta concerning production. Why do y'all keep on going dark with this cast? Even if that's what they give you, you have the power as producers and story editors to craft a brighter story. The viewers do not want this from them. It does not work. Atlanta is fun. Atlanta is comedy. That is what made this show so big. That is why they are the only housewife cast that has the most memes, the most gifts, the most sayings, because it's a fun comedic show. And I'm seeing this trailer and I'm just like, oh, come on, y'all. Please don't go season 9 on us. And I feel like if we're right here already with Kandi and Marlo, it's just going to get worse. And it's just not a smart move. I'm so concerned about what is going on over there. I will say it is weird now that we've gotten all the information concerning Marlo's nephew and him being murdered by a patron that he met at OLG. Now that we have this information, and now that we have the backstory, and now that we have receipts from both Kandi and Marlo, it does seem very weird. I'm sorry. It seems very weird that now you're mad at Kandi. It seems very weird that now you and your family are talking about it and, making a big deal about it when I'm like, you was buddy with this woman right after the incident. You were on her show. You were on Candy Coated Nights. Y'all were trying to do a show together. Like she was, campaigning for you to get on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I'm not understanding where this beef is coming from now. It does feel like it's storyline. It does feel like you don't have much of anything to talk about it, or what you do have to talk about didn't work last season. So now you're going to make it about you and Kandi, which is fine. But this storyline is just so weak. There's so many holes in it. It does not make any sense that now you're upset. Now you're raging. Now you're falling out. It just does not make any sense to try to put this on this woman when you continue to have a friendly relationship with her after your nephew lost his life. It's just very weird. It's not adding up. It's not making any sense. And I completely understand Kandi's frustration because it's just odd. It's just very, very odd. And I love the fact that Kandi was just like, she's trying to pin her nephew's murder on me. And that's not right. That's why she was so upset. That's why she was activated. And I realized that she got out of herself. And I wish that she would not have done that. But I do understand why she was so frustrated, because it just does not make any sense. It's like it came out of nowhere, because it did. It just doesn't make any sense. Did y'all know that Kenya was married for 5 years? Where have we been? How old is Brooklyn? Is Brooklyn 5? That was so weird when she said that. She was like, yeah, I've been married for 5 years. And I'm like, 1 + 1 = 2. What is going on? I was very confused by that. 5 years? Really? The math ain't mathing, Kenya. The math ain't mathing. You know what I just thought about? Marlo, if you were so mad at Kandi for, not addressing the situation with your cousin, even though Bravo showed with your nephew, even though Bravo showed the receipts, right? Show the receipts of you talking about it with Kandi, showed her showing some remorse, showed you guys having a whole conversation, right? But even if you were not satisfied then, remember you and Kandi were having a good little kiki about how y'all bonded over fried chicken in Jamaica. You weren't angry then. You didn't want to bring it up then over fried chicken, Jamaican fried chicken, the KFC. Why didn't it come up then? It's just weird. It's just weird. It's like, even if you are a Marlo stan, you can't really root for this storyline because it's just weird. It's out of nowhere. It just holds no weight. There's far too many holes in this storyline for any of it to make sense. Like, you keep on holding on to this grudge, but you keep on wanting to make up and be buddy with this woman, crying last season about how you thought that she was a sister. Why didn't it come up then? It's weird. It's really, really, really weird. I will say this, right? Even though I did not agree with Marlo, production, Kandi, what's going on? Because I don't feel like you got the favoritism that you used to have. Production was showing receipts for Marlo as well. They were definitely showing Kandi receipts, but they were absolutely showing Marlo receipts. And when Drew tried to put aggressive on her, production made sure to go back and show that Marlo's hands were behind her back. They also gave Sandy ample, confessional time to talk about how Marlo wasn't aggressive. Dare I say that it was fair? It was very fair. And rarely do you see another cast member, especially Marlo, be treated fairly when they're beefing with Kandi. What's going on? I was like, oh, is the favoritism going? What happened? What is going on over there? Who got the tea? What did Carlos King say? Because, baby, I was like, oh, this seems fair. That's new. That's rich. What's going on? You know, and since we're also talking about Sanya, I don't know if Sanya's family is acting or if we're just missing a lot of the story. But from what I'm seeing, I don't think that it's wise for Sanya to make her husband be the face of, kicking out her family, because her mother constantly says it. Even though she's not upset when she says it, she does say it a lot, right? She does say, oh, it doesn't feel nice to get put out. It's not okay, to get kicked out of the home. But I understand, but she keeps on using kicked out. That Sanya, what's his name? It's not Ralph. What's her fine? Juan? Sanya and Sanya's husband is kicking out the family. Both the mother and Sanya's sister keeps on using that language. And I feel like, Sanya, making your husband the face of the kicking out of your family, I feel like in the long run, I don't think that's going to work, right? Because even if it were something that you guys have talked about, you're still making it seem like, oh, he wants you guys out of the home, right? Here's why you should never do that with your partner, because your family is always going to hold a grudge. Now, they might laugh and joke and be cool with it, but they are never going to forget that your husband kicked them out of their home where they were not paying anything, right? Because they were taking care of your son, right? And you weren't paying them for any kind of childcare. So even though it makes sense, even though it seems like everybody understands, I still think that you're playing a dangerous game, making your husband the reason why your family is getting put out of your home. I think you need to be honest about it, or make sure they watch this season so they can see that you also agree that it's time for them to go. Because that's a dangerous game to play. That's a dangerous game to play. Your family will get over it with you. They won't get over it with your husband. Stay woke. I think that's all I had to say. Right? Oh, do I have any Star family from Chicago? Because I feel like Drew is lying. I'm from Chicago. We don't say shooting. Drew, I think you're lying. I like her. Though. I like lying Drew. What's her name? She by Sheree and Marlo both mentioned this, because when they had an event that Marlo and Kandi, got in each other's face about, which, listen, again, I think that Kandi was justified in her anger. I just feel like, just remember you're at work. It just wasn't a good look to see her talking about strangling Marlo and dragging that hoe. And I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? I'm like, you're a professional and you're at work. Like, we can find a middle ground. But it was weird when Kenya, Drew, and Monietta left. Here is why. Monietta, I realize that you're really friends with Kandi, but if you want this Bravo check, you have to start showing up to work. You got to stop showing up to work. We see you for 2 seconds and then you're leaving a freaking scene. Why in the hell are you leaving the scene when you've had no camera time? You got to be smart. You gotta be smart. I would have stayed at that scene, tried to, make everybody come together. And if Kandi realized that she needed sleep and she couldn't stay in that environment, I would stay. And that I would be in my confessional and be like, I'm staying here because I want to make sure I don't say nothing about my friend, knowing good and well I'm staying here for this camera time because I need the viewers to form a relationship with me so that I can take that in with my agent and my lawyer when I'm negotiating for, a next season if they ask me back. Like, you are not in the scene and then you're leaving the scene because you're trying to prove loyalty to Kandi. Honey, we got to put a loyalty to this check. Welcome to America. the land of capitalism. Okay, we ain't free. Okay, so I just felt like it just wasn't really smart for her to do that, because we didn't really see you and then you left. We the viewers have to form a relationship with you. We're not doing that if you're constantly leaving, if the person who you are loyal to on the show is leaving a scene because she does not want to film with somebody because they take her to a certain place. That's all fine and dandy. She can do that. She's Candy. She has a name on the show and off the show. She's also an OG. You are not. Let's use wisdom. I think it was very weird for Monyetta, Kenya, and Drew to leave, because then we didn't get much of a scene. Then the scene had to end there, and we just got some B-roll of the ladies at this blow-up spot or wherever they were at. And I was just like, there was so much more scene left to do. And this is why it never works when castmates pick sides on a season. Because then it starts getting to, oh, I'm not going to film with her. Oh, I'm not going to come to this scene. Oh, we're going to leave if one of us is offended. And when that happens, you're not getting the full story, right? You're missing out on so many moments and one-liners and interactions and healing or fights that could happen, right? Or misunderstandings and understandings that could happen. You're missing that because you guys are cutting the scenes in half, because you are forgetting that you are showing up to work. Your ego is making you blind to the fact that this is entertainment. This is your job. You are here to get a check. Now dance at the end of the day. This is showbiz. Y'all, picking sides and, I'm not doing this and she's not doing this. Okay. We all thought that the Real Housewives of New York was never going to be put on pause. And here we are. Heartbroken. Y'all better stay woke. That's all I have to say. What do you guys have to say? I want to get my super chats first, and then I'll hop into the comments. Oh, hey, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for the super chat. Joe said, I agree about bringing Karen. Okay. Karen Zodiac back to drag her for our entertainment. Look, at the end of the day, Kenya is going to be on that neck. That's when Kenya will get activated. Okay. Bring her back. Bring back Wig. Thank you so much, Joe. I got that one. I got this one from Joe. Tracy, thank you for the super chat. Tracy said, Star family, it's almost 200 people in the room and about 75 likes. Like the live, Ken has been separated for 4 years. So does she's been separated for 4 years. Does the 5 years count? Strike sign in the back, pay the writers more. Amen. Thank you so much, Tracy, for the super chat. So I cannot believe it's been that long. Wow. Thank you, Tracy. Sebastian, thank you for the super chat. Sebastian said, I blame production and Bravo. These women aren't being course corrected. Come on. Talk about it after filming. Get Kim some Newports and Moscato and get her on camera. Thank you, Sebastian, for the super chat. Candy Kane, thank you for the super chat. You're so sweet. Thank you, fam. Let's get into some live comments. Thank you, Missy. Because I was like, Drew, that does not make sense. I'm from Philadelphia. We more Chicago than Chicago, okay? Chicago gets a bad rap. Philadelphia, the rap is deserved. We say shooting. Like, come on. Y'all all saying that she lying. Brunswick Boy 86 says senior sisters don't want to be in a house. So I'm not sure where she's shocked that Ross wants them to move out. I hope that they're just playing this up and it's not really a big deal, because I just feel like it's going to cause resentment with her mom and her father and her sister with her husband. And you just don't need that. You just don't need that at all. Ella said, when it comes down to it, Marlo thought she was closer friends with Kandi, and she's not. If something like that happened to Kenya's nephew, I'm sure Kandi will respond differently. Marlo needs to stop, though. That's all fine and dandy, right? But where was this energy 2 years ago? That's where she's losing me. That's where she's losing me. And the time, it's the timing, right? You're doing this now and you're doing it on camera. It's weird. It's weird. Yes. She asked him to come live with her to help with her child because she was doing like a lot of stuff already, and then she got this show. So it was just very smart for her to move in her family, who was also, let's be real, essentially her help. So that's the thing. Classy lady, Sanya and Ross never mentioned buying them a home. It's just you guys got to find some place to live. And her sister's husband was already sick of saying it. He quit, saying that she was difficult. So it's already some stuff brewing with the family. I just feel like throwing Ross under the bus is the last thing she needed to do with the drama they're already dealing with. Tiny said, Carlos King said people care about Martell and Sheree because crossover. Can I be honest with you? The fan fodder for that died very quickly because we saw Martell once and that was it. Like, where is he? What's going on? Yasmin said Carlos is actually on Kandi's side in this whole thing, which is crazy because they don't get along. Well, he's not doing the producer thing. He's doing, like, when he comes on his YouTube, he's doing the reviewer thing. So he's looking at it as a viewer, but then giving you his producer and insider insight. So when you look at it as a viewer, it doesn't make sense to be on Kandi's side because Marlo, it's just this whole thing is just weird. It's just weird that she's mad at her now. It's weird. Yeah, I cannot believe it's taking this long. Who's another one? There's another person on reality TV, I believe, whose divorce took forever. It was insane. But yeah, I mean, like, you can't force somebody to sign papers or, Oh, Bethany. Bethany's divorce was like 10 years. 10 years. It's crazy how these men are dragging out this divorce. It's crazy. Josh said, Kenya should have never married that mean little man. Glad she got Brooklyn out of it, though. Yeah, I'm so happy for her. She's so happy, and Brooklyn is so happy. Good for her. Matt Mazel 8 said, I believe the rumors. They want Kandi and possibly Kenya out. They're getting too expensive. That's true. You can see how the producers were asking Kandi about the elephant in the room. Pow, pow. Yeah, there is a difference. There is a difference this season with how production is treating Kandi. There is a huge difference. But the thing about that is, if they get rid of Atlanta OGs, they're going to have to do it for every show. And my God, today Bravo is going to look different. That's why I would hate to be on the new cast of The Real Housewives of New York. Here is why. Because they have to kill it. They have to kill it. Not only are they coming after an amazing cast, they're also setting the tone for if the recasting is a smart idea or a bad idea. They got to kill it. Poor things. I would never want to be in that position. Ever. Bex said it's kind of like Katie's being more angry at Sheena than Rachel and the Pump Rules misdirected anger. Well, Katie and Sheena had beef for years. So that's what that's from. That makes sense. They ain't like each other for years. Got that one. Drewski said anti-black Zodiac can take her behind the Linux. Oh my God. get shot. Drewski. LS said, I logged into my phone just to throw a tomato. Joy said, I partially agree, but I think it wouldn't be the best idea considering her kids. Aren't the kids with the father? I feel like the kids with the daddy. I feel like the kids are with the daddy. Let me get the super chat from Candy Cane. Thank you, Candy Cane. Candy Cane said they left because if they stayed, they would have been arguing with Marlo, Sheree, and Sanya. Which is something we, the viewer, should have seen. We needed to see it. That's something we needed to see. Because Sanya was getting a bit activated too, but we lost it because everybody left. And it's like, where are the producers? This is the problem when the producers are fans or the producers start getting far too comfortable with the cast. Like there has to be a relationship, a healthy working relationship, right? But there cannot be lines blurred. There has to be a respect level from the cast to production and from production to the cast. And I feel like Real Housewives of Atlanta's production team is getting just like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Everybody getting too comfortable, everybody getting too cozy, lines are being blurred, and the producers are now becoming fans of the housewives. So it's like certain people don't show up to work, or certain people's business don't get spilled like other people's, which is Marlo's thing. Marlo is just like, everybody is telling all of my business, but we can't tell none of this woman's business. And I know all this stuff, but if I say it, everybody gonna act like I'm crazy, or I'm making this stuff up when they all know it's true. So I absolutely understand that, but I just feel like production got to get it together. I will say I've noticed that the favoritism for OGs is starting to, fade, but I still think there's a lot more work that needs to be done. I feel like there should have been a producer that should have been just like, absolutely not. We have booked this restaurant for this time. We are going to film this scene. Like, no, you're not leaving. We're going to film this. But then if you do that, you cross a line, right? And you cross a line from it being reality TV to it being overproduced. And I know Bravo doesn't like to overproduce, but it's just like there was so much more there. I felt like somebody should have been like, well, let's say, or encourage them to try to work it out. But I get if people didn't feel safe in that situation, then they needed to leave. But still, there was so much more to happen in that scene. Anyway, let's move on to Pump Rules. I want to say this. This was an episode, this was in the second part of the reunion. This cast can read. Like nobody can read better than James Kennedy, but everybody was putting in work this reunion. The MVPs are absolutely James and Lala, but Tom Sandoval got a read out on Lala, and I'm telling you, my edges are just coming back. When he said this, I was like, OMG. So Tom has been on Lala's neck the whole, Sandoval has been on Lala's neck the entire reunion. And he's been doing this because Lala, I got to be honest with you, I feel the same way too. He feels like Lala is just interested in this affair because it's money, right? And she has done a lot of stuff to monetize this affair, and it doesn't have anything to do with her. I kind of agree because we even talked about it. I was like, Lala is doing a lot about this affair, and we have yet to hear from Ariana. We have yet to hear from Tom. Well, Lala is doing a lot of talking on her podcast, taking a lot of interviews on live, on TikTok. It was a lot. It was a lot. And I'm just like, you were not close to either one of them, right? And you were not involved in this in any kind of way. Why are you the only one talking, and why are you talking so much, right? So I will give Tom that. I will say Mother was reading him down, and she was extremely accurate. But I do have to agree with Tom where I felt like she was just really monetizing this affair and it didn't really seem like it was coming from a place of care. That being said, she showed up to the reunion. Here's what I want to say about Tom. Like he could not read, he was not doing well, but he got a read off on Lala in the beginning of the second part of the reunion. And my God, today I had to write it down. He told Lala, he said, Lala, you pulled out your IUD the day you found out that Stassi was pregnant. I was like, OMG. And he was saying that to say, like, you know, that Lala is just in like really fame obsessed, right? And as soon as Stassi was pregnant, it was just like he felt like she rushed to get pregnant to have something to talk about as well. I don't know. You know, listen, this is Hollywood. Who knows? But I was just like, you've been sitting on that one. You have been sitting on that one. This show was insane. I will, since we're here talking about Lala, I will say in part 2 of the reunion and part 3 of the reunion, I will say I've reached the point where I'm going to allow myself to be in the reality of Lala being in a relationship with Randall that was not an affair. Here is why. She's moved on, right? Her life is now different. She's a single mom to, you know, little Harvey, and the ex of little Harvey Weinstein. She's in a much better place with Randall's ex-wife, and she's in a new reality. I feel like we've all watched the show. We've all heard her say things about being a mistress and, you know, loving it, right? But where I feel like for me, I'm going to let her rewrite history and I'm going to go along with it. I'm just going to go along with it because at the end of the day, she's not budging from her reality. And who am I to judge, right? So I'm like, you know what, girl? You were misled. I'm going to go with that story. I'm going to act like I did not watch the older seasons, and I'm going to go along with the story that you were misled by Randall. Because why do we all care? Like, why are we holding on to this if you are just so dogmatic about this not being true and moving forward? I don't care. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to let her rewrite this history and I'm going to mind my business because she was just like, I was misled. I was misled. I was his girlfriend. He was cheating on me with his wife. Cheating on his wife with me. And I'm like, residue. I saw the show, but you know what, girl? I'm going to live in this reality with you. Who's it harming? No one. No one. So she was misled, and I'm gonna drop it. I will say, Lisa was trying this reunion, and what a terrible attempt. She was trying to make sure that everybody was treated fairly, right? Because Lisa's thing is, you all are terrible. I cannot believe y'all are treating Sandoval this way when each and every one of you are terrible people. And she was trying to get them to see that they've all done things right. She was like, well, James, you and Lala slept with each other and cheated on Raquel. And James was like, well, I was 25. And Lala was just like, I wasn't friends with her. Like everybody is making excuses for their terrible behavior. And Lisa was trying her darndest to make everybody see that they're all equally awful and they can't really judge this guy. And I kind of agree, but the thing about it is Sandoval and Raquel are just being so nasty, so diabolical that everybody is overlooking the fact that the people that are coming for him are terrible as well. I have chosen to overlook everything that this cast has done for them to go after Sandoval and Raquel because they're so nasty about how they're treating Ariana. And I just do not understand why. Like neither one of them have said that she deserved this or she's done something to make them want to harm her like this. But then they're not showing any kind of remorse for her. It's all for them. And it's just such a terrible place to be in. And I feel so bad for her. So I'm going to let these awful people drag Sandoval and Raquel because they need it. I will say this reunion also for me solidified what Ariana was saying, that Sandoval was coaching Raquel because he used to coach her as well. Because we saw, I believe in the part 2 of the reunion, where Sandoval was trying to get Raquel alone because he wanted to talk to her, and the producer was just like, that's not going to happen. I love that producer. He was like, I'm sorry, I know how you feel, but we are filming a show and that's not going to happen. We're filming a show and you are a part of this cast. We are not going to let you two go somewhere and talk privately off camera and not being mic'd up while we're currently filming the show. We need that producer on Atlanta, okay? Because he was like, absolutely not. It's not going to happen. As long as you two are talking, we are filming, period. You're at work. But I did see him trying to coach her, and it was not working out. And so he was getting frustrated because of it. Ariana had a lot of righteous anger during this reunion, and it was warranted. It was warranted. I watched the unedited version, the uncensored version on Peacock, and every word she said out of her mouth to Sandoval and Raquel was a cuss word. Like, I mean, I don't know what it looked like on Bravo. Everything had to be bleeped out because there was not one word that Ariana said that wasn't a curse word until she like cried. But other than that, it was a F you, die, B, you are awful, disappointed. I want you to F and die. I wish I could F and kill you. F you, F you, F you, F your mother. Like, she was activated. And I'll allow it, but I was like, my God, today, is anybody going to say something? Because I know that y'all, if you watched it on Bravo, everything had to be bleeped out. Every word that Ariana said was a cuss word. Yes, they curse or cuss. Yes, they cuss. Was a cuss word. I just know y'all did not get the full thing. I feel sorry for anybody who does not have Peacock because, baby, I know you didn't get the full reunion. There's no way. But her righteous anger, she had righteous anger and it was justified, and I will allow it. Like I said, we all talked about it last time that we believe that Raquel is a sociopath because there's just something wrong. There's something wrong. I feel like not only is she a sociopath, there's something. Is it socio or psychopath? Is it sociopath? Oh, I think it's psychopath. What's the one where they can't feel nothing for others? That better not be him. What do we describe Raquel as? Oh my God, hold on.
I totally forgot.
It's fine.
I was being a jackass. I'm so sorry.
Please don't do that cussing on here. Thank you.
I was being such a douche.
Okay, language. Thank you.
I was being such a couture.
Stop it. And we're back. What is the one where people cannot feel? What is it?
Happy Pride.
That's what you get. That's what you get. Is it Soko? Is it so? I called it. It's the one where you can't feel. What is it? Is it sociopath? I thought it was psycho. And you know, I'm thinking of psycho because I'm thinking of American Psycho. A mental health disorder characterized by the Yes, sociopath. Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. We all have come to the conclusion that that's probably something that she's dealing with. But I also think that there is something else happening, because when everyone tries to talk to her, it's not clicking. And I've been saying this from like 2017 when I was reviewing this show. It's no 2015. Yeah, 2015. I've been here a minute, child. She just is something not right. And they would laugh at her and make fun of her, but I'm just like, there's something going on, guys. You are not talking to an adult. You're not, because when Andy was interviewing her and he was talking to her about this grown woman who is good at almost 30, sleeping with this man, she was like giddy, and it was like a child talking about getting a pony. And oh my God, I was so happy. I knew it was wrong, but I was so happy to have him inside me. What are you talking about? Like,
what are you talking about?
This, have you ever watched Vanderpump Rules? You don't know about Sandoval. Something was going on. Like something, I don't know what it is, but it's like, I feel like this is not developed. But she's 28, but something is missing. Something is missing. And I've always been saying that they are dealing with this woman like she has the mental capacity that they do. I am not giving her a pass, but I'm telling you, there is an emptiness there that is not normal. Because this interview with her and Andy, I'm like, something's off. Something is off. Even at the end, let's just skip to the end of the reunion. When she had her own sit down again, and she was just like, I want to tell the truth, and she just started breaking down, crying, and she was just like, I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to be this person that hurts people. But it's like, you entered into this relationship knowing that he was with somebody else, knowing that Sandoval was with your good friend Ariana. You sat there after you had sex with him, like literally a few hours after having sex with him. She goes to talk to her and asks her if she's happy in her relationship, and tells her that she needs to have more sex with Tom after she just banged him and she didn't feel any way. The most vile side chick will feel nervous. You know what I mean? Will be like, oh my God. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a normal person won't feel comfortable having this conversation, but she was so like just not connected. Is she a robot? Maybe she's AI. Something is happening. Something is happening, because like I'm watching this girl the whole reunion and she don't feel nothing until it affects her. Then she cries, but it's like this childlike thing where I thought that she was putting it on, but she never turns it off. Angry, sad, happy, mad. She is this same 12-year-old at day camp. It's so weird. And I feel like Bravo, I don't know if they're giving psych evaluations anymore, but I feel like they got to do something, because something is off with this woman. And I don't know if we will ever find out, but something is not right. This whole, like, she walked out, and of course, as soon as she walked out on the stage, they're just like, die, ho, F you. Like, oh my God. This reunion was brutal, especially the last part. The Ariana was like, you're gross, ugly, I hate you, I don't want to see you. And like, Raquel just walked out and sat down. And I'm like, did you hear her? She told you to die. Do you feel anything? Like, what is going on? So as they're all telling her to die, calling her a whore, calling her a B, calling her every kind of curse word, see you next Tuesday, F words, she's sitting there and she's like, and she gets up and she's just like, I just want to get a drink of water. Even production was shook, because they thought that she was leaving because she was upset about being called those things. She was like, I'm just thirsty. Thank you. And then walked back on the stage. Come on, y'all. Something is not right. Something is not right. I'm like, do you hear these things? Like, what are you saying? And I felt like she went by a script that Sandoval gave her, because after everybody called her all kinds of whores and told her to die, she goes, I understand that you guys are mad at me, and I'm really sorry. I understand that you may hate me and never want to talk to me again, and that's fair. I'm really sorry. No, I get it. I understand. Right? Wasn't it weird? Wasn't it weird? I'm like, there's no kind of affection until we get to the end of it, and she's just like, I don't want to be a bad person. I don't want people to think that I would do something like that. You did something like that. Do you not know what you did? Something is not right. Something is off. Let's talk about what else is off. Sandoval, where's your heart? You're giving 10 man. You're giving 10 man. When he was sitting there talking about Ariana and saying, well, she just wasn't, we weren't like in a really good place. And Ariana then turns around to Raquel and she's just like, well, I just want to let you know, after he had sex with you, that same night he came back and he had sex with me. He was like, yeah, you had your shirt on the whole time. Dude, are you serious? Are you freaking serious? Like, no remorse. Everybody was like, Sandoval, come on. Even Lisa was like, Tom, that's not right, Tom. Like, she was so flabbergasted that he would say something like that. It's just like, you are not in the position to be angry. You are in the position of remorse. Why can you not feel that? Why is the woman that you continue to enter, even though you feel so bad about this relationship, why can't she feel anything? Something is wrong. Something is wrong. I could not believe that he said that to her. She kept her shirt on the whole time. The way I would have got up and for him, the way Andy Cohen would have thought that Teresa Giudice was up in that place, because I would have beat the brakes off of that boy. I would have went to prison that night and I would have been happy. I would have been happy, because for you to sit there next to your hoe that you've been banging, that was my best friend, and then look at me and say I kept my shirt on the whole time after you stuck that nasty dick in her and then in me, and that's what you got to say to me? Everybody dying. I'm losing it. I will give you a show. I probably won't be back on Bravo, but I will give you a show. I will give you a show. I would have just kept on pounding on that man's forehead. I would have had his bang wrapped around my arm. I would have been choking him. Acrylics all in his eyes. I couldn't believe it. One thing I do want to say is that I was really happy that when Schwartz was talking about Ariana and kept on saying that, she was humiliated, she was like, I was not humiliated. They were humiliated. I'm fine. I love the fact that she was not taking on the role of what happened to me is a terrible thing. No, what they did is terrible. They are the ones like, don't feel bad for me. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not humiliated. Put that on them. They should be humiliated. But I think Schwartz kept on putting it on Ariana because Sandoval and Raquel are not humiliated. They don't feel anything. It's very weird. It's very weird to watch them be so soulless. It's also, if you watch Secrets Revealed, that episode that came on Wednesday, if you watch that episode, it's so sick how lovey-dovey Tom was with Ariana while he was sleeping with Raquel. Like the guy who said that he had hated having sex with her because she kept her shirt on was telling her how great her body was in one scene and was kissing on her and loving her and rubbing up and down on her while he was sleeping with Raquel. Absolute insanity. I'm so disappointed in Sandoval because if you watch my older reviews, he was my favorite. I thought that he was such a good guy. I cannot believe that he waited to get to this big age to be a villain. Why? You had all that time in your 20s to be a terrible human being, and you wait to turn 40 to be this guy? So sad. But I'm glad that Ariana is doing well. I felt like she handled everything like a champ. She had one breakdown and she broke down and she was just like, this isn't right. Like, I can't believe that this is happening to me. I can't believe that these two people did that to me. And this is how they're treating me still. Like, my common law husband, basically, of 10 years, and somebody who I consider my best friend, who I let live in my house. And while I was attending my grandmother's funeral, she was sleeping with my common law husband. It's so evil. It's so evil. And she finally had a moment out of all that anger where she broke down, but she got it back. She got it back. And Sandoval tried to have his moment. She did not care. He said that he still loves her and he will support her. But you say that you still love her and that you will support her and cheer her on from the sidelines. But then you sit there in front of her face. This is the thing that got me. Andy asked Sandoval and Raquel if they were in love. And I was just like, this is the time to show your humanity. This is the time to do it. You know, them idiots both said that they were in love with each other in front of Ariana. Y'all been lying this whole time. Lying, cheating, sneaking around. Y'all couldn't just give one more lie? Even if y'all were in love, y'all couldn't just lie and say, no, we're not. We realized this was terrible. It was a bad idea. We were both in a bad place. We are not in love. We should not have blurred those lines. Like, why didn't y'all say that? They both said, yeah, yes, we're in love. Of all the times to lie, this was it. This was it. Heartless. Heartless. And when I was watching Secrets Revealed, the Vanderpump Rules Secrets Revealed, I saw something that I saw a little bit of in the reunion, but it made much more sense when I watched the Secrets Revealed episode, because it showed how heartbroken James was of Sandoval. He was not upset with Raquel, like he was, but he was more hurt because he considered Sandoval to be his big brother. And I think this reunion, James was so pissed that Sandoval was like mad at him and coming after him. And then Sandoval starts off by saying, oh, we weren't really good friends like that. And James is like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking? Like, they were saying they love each other after they were on the phone. Like, even Ariana confirmed that they were like, oh, all right, talk to you soon, dude, love you. Like, that's where they were at. So for Sandoval to say that they weren't really friends, I don't know why Sandoval just burnt everything down. I don't know why he burnt everything down, because even after this, he's lost everybody, including Schwartz at this point, because Schwartz is like, he's done with the friendship. I think Schwartz is more or less done with the friendship, not because of what Tom has done, what Sandoval has done. I think it's because of the backlash. And the backlash is the effects of their restaurant. They're partners in this restaurant. And because people hate Sandoval, the restaurants are not jumping off like they did. Tom and Sandy's was my place. Baby, ain't nobody going there. That restaurant used to be jumping. Ain't nothing happening. I mean, and where that restaurant is, that rent is expensive. So if they are not bringing in the people and the patrons to pay for all that liquor and them cheese balls, which I love, if they are not bringing in the people, that might shut down. That place might shut down. So I totally understand him backing away from that friendship, because he's Sandoval's a liability at this point. And even Schwartz said this. He was just like, it's how he's going about it. Like, he's not remorseful. He's living his life as this rock star, but he's not like taking accountability for anything that he's done. And he's just not acting like what he did was wrong. And that's just bad for business. It's bad for business. So I don't know. I mean, I will be tuning in for the next season, but I don't know what is going to be the status of any relationships, because at this point, Sandoval has burnt every bridge. The last person he has is Lisa. I don't know, but I do think the whole cast will come back. I think, just being very honest here, if we're just talking like about TV and contracts, Sandoval, Raquel, and Ariana, whatever they ask for, they should get it. I know we can't stand Sandoval. I know we can't stand Raquel, but let's be real. If those two idiots weren't so freaking demonic, we would not be watching this show, and they would not be pulling out 2 million views an episode. They're evil, made this show a hit again, and got this show off the chopping block, and is the reason why everybody got a secure check for next season. Listen, sometimes, good comes out of the bad. You know what I mean? So I feel like I hope their agents and lawyers are negotiating like crazy, because whatever those demons want, they need to get. I'm talking like going in asking for 2 mil, and they should get it. They should start negotiating at 2 mil an episode. Start. Because the way that show has been eating because of those idiots. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say, right? Yeah, I think I talked about the show long enough. We got to get in the summer house. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. What do you guys think? Let's get into it. Oh, you know what? Let me get this first. Hey, Drewski, thank you for the super chat. Drewski said, it is favoritism, but Candy's an OG and earned it. Absolutely. But let's be clear here. Candy came in this show as a celebrity, right? She did not go after Bravo. Bravo went after her. So she already came in with favoritism, and that was why her and Nene got into it, because Nene was like, you're coming in on my show acting like you're this top dog. But I don't think that was on Candy. I think it was because of how the show treated her, because although the show was good, having a celebrity legitimized that show. That's why they always look for a celebrity character, A-list, Z-list, whatever. If you have somebody who was a legitimate star, right, or somebody who had legitimate notoriety outside of the show, Bravo wants to bring them in because it legitimizes their show. So I don't think she earned it by being an OG. I think she came in like that. And that's because she's a celebrity, and they were going after celebrity. Bravo is still going after a legitimized celebrity. So thank you so much, Drewski. Sierra said, I get why Marlo was mad, because she let it go when it first happened. And when she pacified the shooting at Blaze, it triggered old feelings. Marlo said twice she didn't realize that moment still bothered her. That's a good perspective. I'll give you that. I will. But at the end of the day, that's still not Candy's fault. That's something re-triggered you, right? You never addressed it with her the first time. So you allowed that to fester. And now you're here at this height, screaming and yelling at this woman and wanting her to understand you, when you're coming at her in a manner that does not lead to discussion, but conflict. Like, she got to take responsibility as well. Zena said, I think that Lala was loud because she was the first one to call it out. She was. And nobody believed her. Nobody believed her, but Lala was putting 2 and 2 together. Yasmin said, people disregard Vanderpump Rules when they talk about the greats, but Ariana has consistently been one of the best readers in reality TV. She has gagged every single person on the cast throughout the season. She's good, but she's no James. She's no James. James is an immaculate reader. I will put him up there with Nene Leakes. I will put him up there with Kenya. He's that good. He's that good. Like, he cannot stand her, Zena. He cannot stand her. When he said that IUD line, I was like, oh, y'all don't like each other. Y'all do not. James needs an orange. He needs a diamond. He needs a garlic knot. He needs a peach. He needs a brick. He needs all of it. A wine glass. He needs it all. He needs it all. Give Me Shelter said, I think the core issues are with the production company. They need to replace the production companies if we want creativity and quality. Production shouldn't be friends with talent because it shows. The problem is a lot of these studios are buying production companies. So now, So if the studios want a production company to do better, or they, want to get rid of the production company, they're firing themselves. That is the problem. When production companies were independent of studios and they were coming into a contractual relationship, it was a lot different. Now that studios are buying production companies, it's like, what do we do? Do we fire ourselves? Do we like get rid of everybody and start from scratch? That's the issue there. And I don't know what they could do. Mademoiselle said Andy should stop trying to be friends with them. They are his employees. They need to perform and give us a real story. I will say, I think that Andy is friendly with a lot of them, but when it's time to fire or rehire, he is by the book, baby, by the book. Because when Lisa told, because he said it on his podcast, he said that Lisa, after the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, Lisa, I keep on wanting to call her Stansfield. Brenna, I'm like, why do I want to call her Stansfield? Shout out to Lisa Stansfield. Hope you're doing well, sis. But right after the reunion, because she's so friendly with Andy, she texted him and she was just like, I'm out. And Andy was like, yeah, I think that's a good call. She did not expect that. She did not expect that. So after they had that text conversation, they ripped her contract away from her, and she came back and was just like, well, I was in my emotions, I really would still like to come back. I was just upset that day. And Andy was just like, well, we've already then made changes to the season, and we do think that you should sit out for a minute. And he friendly with her. She was dancing on tables at his baby shower. When it comes to work, he don't play. He do not play. Yasmin said that read from Lala didn't land because all of the girls made a pact saying they wanted to have babies at the same time. It was on camera. Oh, see, I didn't watch that season. I need to watch that one because everybody's telling me Katie was a nice person, and I'm still not liking her for being a witch of WeHo, but you're just like, oh no, Katie's good, Nikki. Katie's good. So I think I might watch that season when I have some downtime. I'm still playing catch up right now. Give Me Shelter said, but everyone was saying that on Twitter back in 2020, at least the second after Stassi got so much attention. I forgot what I was talking about at that time. I'm sorry, Give Me Shelter. Yasmin said, Amber, Randall's ex-wife, has co-signed a lot of what Lala said about being misled. I truly don't think she's lying. And I'll give her that. Like I said, I'm going to live in her reality. Because why do I care? I was just going off of the things that she said on the show, and like maybe she was just playing it up for the show. But Lala was real happy to be dating a rich guy that was married. That's what I remember. But that was what, 10 years ago. So who knows? But I'm going to live in her reality. I'm going to live in her reality. Beck said Lala tried to play the game. She bragged about DJ for cars and jet rides. She tried it, but she is a diet Erica Jane. Ciao. Lala, I would never forget you talking about putting your mouth on Randall's anus for a car. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, you are coming out guns blazing. Well, she was a kid, right? So now that she's older, she's a mom. You know what I mean? It happens. You wanna live a certain life as if that didn't happen. So I'm gonna live there with you. I will say, Carmen, let me say this. Krista can choke, right? However, looking back now at the way Tom and Ariana and everybody treated her and act like that girl was crazy, knowing that she was telling the truth about Tom the whole time. Wow. Everybody treated her like she was just a town drunk. And she was just like, I'm telling you, Ariana, he's going to do it to you. And Bravo loves playing that flashback. And Ariana sitting there with the drink, like, okay, okay. She warned her. She warned her. E for Empathy said, Raquel's little moment where she said she hated being deceitful is probably true. It read to me and she felt bad for lying, but not for what she did. Absolutely. That's what I got too. That's what I got. She was just like, I don't like, sleeping with someone's boyfriend in their home while they're away for a funeral and lying about it. And I'm like, is it the lying part or is it the sleeping? It's off. It's something wrong there, man. It's something wrong. Like it's not right, Raquel. It like you don't understand certain things. I just thought about this. Do you know that this demon, Sandoval, had Raquel meet his mom and spend Christmas with them? The mother knows and loves Raquel. How awful for Ariana. How awful for her. Like, oh, the fact that she ain't beat nobody up, good for her. Good for her. That's why I like Sheena. Shout out to Sheena. Because Sheena did what Ariana couldn't do. Ariana couldn't get to Raquel, but Sheena could get to Raquel. That's the best friend. That's a best friend. Carmen said they wanted everybody to ice out Kristen, but the other cast wouldn't let that happen. Remember his joint time, Tom and Jack's B-Day trip. Yeah, because she was telling the truth. He wanted to isolate her and shut her up. Beck says secrets revealed made it worse. Yep. Rachel brought Ariana flowers just hours after they did the boom boom. Yep. Yep. Oh, yes, I remember that. Oh! Zena said the secrets are revealed episode showing Raquel coming to the house the day after her and Tom slept together with flowers. Wow, Raquel and Tom are truly diabolical. Like it's just so evil. It's so nasty. And they're sitting there not showing any kind of regret or remorse, only reacting to people being mad at them and wanting to play victim. I'm just like, what did this woman do to you? For y'all to treat her like this. This is sad. This is sad. I do agree with that, Classy Lady. I'll say that too. Classy Lady said, I think that Lala was projecting her anger from Randall to Tom onto Tom because both displayed narcissistic behavior. Absolutely. She even said it. She was like, he's so much like Randall. He's so much like Randall. Let me get some older ones and then we will get into Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Busola said, I know they say there's nothing new under the sun, but wow, this Sandoval is something else. It's so, I think what's so crazy about it is that it's two people who were really close to Ariana who did it, right? But I think what's more shocking is how they are both handling this situation. I mean, where is their PR? Because it's the fallout and the way they're handling it is what's making it worse. And they don't get it. Even Lisa was like, Tom, you are making everything worse. Why are you doing this? Just say something nice. Apologize. Like she's coaching him from the sidelines, begging this man to be kind to Ariana, and he won't do it. Insane. Insane. B Stokes Styling said, Tom, you literally paid for his engagement, but y'all weren't friends. I'm telling you, I could feel it at the reunion. But when I watched Secrets Revealed and James was sitting there with his girlfriend and she was so mad. She was like, he didn't even call you. And James was like, yeah, he didn't call. He didn't say anything. Nothing. We've been friends this whole time. Like he was heartbroken. And I don't feel like Tom understands how many people he let down. And this is a very important lesson, right? Because you have to know the influence you have and how people view and receive you. Because I don't think that man knew the influence the power and the respect that he had from so many people. Either he didn't know or he didn't care, whatever it is. I just don't feel like he was aware, because he's absolutely so shocked that these people are mad at him, but they're not mad. They're disappointed because they expected more from him. Everybody but Kristen. Everybody but Kristen, because she knew the real him. Wow. That's so sad. I absolutely agree, B. Stokes. I think he's stepping back publicly from his friendship to save his business. Because even when they were filming the season and he came over and Tom was crying and hugging him, and Schwartz was just like, "Oh man, did you hear the reviews of the restaurant?" Schwartz was like, "I put all of my life savings and my mama's life savings into this restaurant. This has to work. This has to work." Yeah, and that's another thing. He said that to Sheena and broke her heart. Sheena, when she sat down with him, she could not even speak because her body was shaking and trembling because she was crying so much. And she was telling him that he broke her heart. And then he goes to say they're not even really good friends. It's just so, guys, I'm telling you, this is so crazy. It's so crazy how this man and Raquel are leading out. It's just, I like, it does not make sense. Oh, he absolutely is. And Ariana said it to her. He's absolutely going to cheat on Raquel. He's probably already doing it. He's probably already doing it. I think he's going to have to crash and burn and get humbled, because he's not humbled in this situation. He is not humble. He hasn't lost any. He doesn't feel like he's lost anything. That's a mess. We're about to get into Summer House. We already talked about Atlanta. So Seth said, "Hey Tony." So Seth said, "Does anybody in the chat use can you more hair care? Asking for a friend. Yes, let us know. Let us know." Listen, Tracy, Stassi, I don't know why she went full white supremacist, because, ooh, to have her on this season, my God, today. My God, today. Some people, thank you so much for the super chat. Some people said, "My question that probably won't get answered is this. Is this actually the only cheating that he's done?" No, he's cheated on Ariana once that she knows of, but now everybody thinks that he's cheated on her more. He cheated on his first girlfriend, Kristen, with Ariana. So he's always been cheating, but he's, the women, he's always been able to get a woman. So maybe that's what it is. There's never been any consequences to his actions. He's never lost anything, or that anything that he feels is valuable. We're going to end right here with Bex, and then we're going to get into Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Bex said Raquel started using the I forgot about that. I forgot about that. This heifer on camera. For reference, Tom Sandoval has a lightning bolt necklace. This heifer on camera goes and buys a little lightning bolt necklace. And Andy asked her about it. And he was just like, "Did you just buy it randomly, or did you buy it for a reason?" And she said, "Wow, he is still with Ariana." She says she bought the necklace as a symbol of their relationship. What relationship do you have with this man? You don't have a relationship. This is so crazy. The mind of a side chick is insane. This is so scary. The rationalization. Is that a word? It's so scary, the stuff that she is like trying to make sense. You're not in a relationship with him. If the only time you see that man is to have sex, you are not in a relationship. You are a prostitute. But he's telling you whatever You want to, you know what? You a cheap prostitute too, because you ain't getting nothing out of it. You pay for that necklace. Girl, did he give you any money? Did he pay a bill? Please don't tell me you did all that sleeping with that man and you paying your own rent. Did you get anything out of it? Your life blew. Well, you know, you're about to get a nice little check from Bravo, so maybe it was worth it. I don't know, but I know you had this come back weird. I'm actually on the call right now. You come back in an hour.
I'm on at 5.
What time is it?
It's about to be 4 and 5 minutes. It's 3:50.
Can you come back at like 4:45?
Yeah.
It won't take that long.
Right, yeah. No,
Okay.
I'm going to use this here. I had an emergency.
I figured because you left the ladder.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
I
fine.
planned to and everything, but
It's fine.
It's always a Friday, I swear.
Listen, you're a busy man. I'll see you later.
I'll see you in a bit.
I'm busy. Anyway, what were we talking about? Raquel is diabolical. Keep her in your prayers. Keep her in. Shout out to Miami girl. She was telling the truth the whole time. Oh, and there was another time one of the cast members was on somebody's podcast and they said that he was trying to sleep with a lot of girls wherever they were at, but they had to sign NDAs. So Lord knows how many women that he slept with, but they signed NDAs, so they probably can't even say anything. This is so crazy. This is so evil. This is so mean. This is so mean. Like, how could you do that and like not care? Absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. Thank you, NTR, for the super chat. NTR said, this is for your eventual live in studio. I like. So peeps, stop interrupting. You know, I actually have it. That was my maintenance man. He was working on something at like 9 a.m. today and then left and was like, oh, can I come in now? And I'm like, no, you can't. I'm busy. Like, dude, where were you at 9 a.m.? You just disappeared. Anyway, let's move on to Summer House. But he come back here and get on my nerves. Summer House. Oh, so thank you all who were sending me the information about the video or whatever about Bria. I didn't know. On my last live, you guys were saying that Bria had got locked up in Paris. And I was like, what? You know, I was like, honestly, I was making a joke of it because I was just like, I thought you guys were joking, but it was real. She got locked up in Paris because a patron, they were at a store and the patron said that she stole something. She got locked up and she was just talking about how racist Paris is and, you know, just sharing her experience. And it was scary. It was very scary. I'm telling you, I'm seeing a lot of videos, a lot of TikToks, a lot of Instagrams, a lot of YouTubes of Black women who are traveling abroad, specifically in Europe. And it's just not a good experience. Like, I'm seeing a lot of videos about Italy, and y'all know I was ready to go to Italy, but I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm also seeing a lot of videos about pickpockets. I'm only laughing because there's this lady on TikTok that I'm telling you, I binge watch all of her videos. I wait for them all. I wait for her to get like 10 or 20 videos, and then I just scroll. What did she say? Hey, pickpocket! Pickpocket! Do I have her video? Ooh, I be dying. Attenzione, pickpocket! Where is her video? Hold on. Attenzione! And it's like, she like walks up to, it's always women. It's like a group of women all over Europe who are pickpocketing. They're probably Romney. I don't want to assume, but I've watched enough documentaries. Anyway, as soon as like they're about to like still like go try to pickpocket somebody, she goes, attenzione, hey, pickpocket, and they all take off running. Where is I was just on her channel. I was just on her page. Where is that video? Darn it, I could not find it. But I was just on her page. Attenzione! Attenzione! Pickpockets! This is so not relevant to what's happening. I'm sorry. Oh, here she go. Here she go. Hold on.
Attenzione pickpocket! Attenzione borseggiatrici! Pickpocket! Pickpocket! Attenzione borseggiatrici! Attenzione pickpocket!
Baby! That's all she does. That is all she does, and I be dying. Attenzione! Oh, what was I talking about? I'm sorry. I was talking about Bria. Anyway, sorry that happened to you, Bria. That it seemed like a really terrible experience. And thank God, listen, thank God your white man used his privilege and got you out of prison. Because my God, today, I do want to talk about something that she did mention in the video where she said, I'm an actress, right? She's like, I'm a well-known actress on a Bravo show. That's how she introduced herself. And I was like, are we breaking the fourth wall now? Are we just telling the truth? Because at the end of the day, and that's why I tried to tell a lot of people for all of these reality TV shows, but especially for Summer House, these are all actors. Everybody on the show is some form of actor, and they have brought in a partner or a close friend who's probably not an actor, but has entertainment aspirations. So I do think that these people are these characters, but I also think that they are putting 20 on 10 for TV. So go easy on them. It's their first season. They got a lot to learn, but I think they're doing really, really good because the views are growing every episode. Silas, the word is manipulative. He struggles with that word. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the P's, the N's, and I get it, because even when I have to say it, I have to think about the word. It's not a word that you can just say. But my God, today he struggles with that word. So since we're on Silas, Jasmine, as a fellow actress, one actress to another, your husband is not coming off well on this show. I feel like maybe you need to give him some acting tips and let him know that he needs to come off more like a loving and supportive husband, and less Ike Turner, because it's getting scary. Okay? It was already scary the way he was hammerjacking you under them sheets, but the way he treats you on this show is not a good look. And I do not feel like that Black executive producer sets Silas down and says, hey, Silas, we're going to make you the angry Black husband on this show about Black excellence. I feel like that's him. And it's very concerning the way he talks to you, the way he talks about women, because he was 2 seconds from trying to out Jason. Now, I'm not saying that anything is going on with Jason, but Silas got a problem with Jason's masculinity, because when they were at that dinner, Silas was being real problematic with the way he was speaking to Jason. And I love the fact that Jason was firing back and not allowing Silas to get away with the problematic things that he was saying to Jason, because the ladies had a ladies' night and the boys had a boys' night. And the boys were at the bar or whatever. And Silas was talking to Jason and basically saying that he treats women too nice, or he's too much of a nice guy. And if he allows women to walk all over him, or basically saying if he treats women like they're humans and treats them properly and treats them with adoration, he won't be able to sleep with a lot of women. And then Jason, in his confessional, he's just like, I just had a child 3 months ago. You think I was going to be on Martha's Vineyard banging everybody? Like, what are you talking about? And I really not just like Jason, but I came to really like his character a bit more on this show. Before, he just seemed real messy, that he was just in conversations, but I felt like we saw a bit more of him on this episode. I will say, I don't think we know all of Jason, right? And I don't think that Jason is a part of the Let God Be True Quickly community. But he recognizes that he's a different kind of guy. And I think he believes that he is treated differently or seen differently because he's light-skinned with gray eyes. That's what he said. He said, because I'm light-skinned with gray eyes, people treat me differently. And I don't think it's that. I think you give off somebody who was raised by his great-grandmother. I think that's what it is, Jason. You are very Southern Black grandma coded. It's very, ooh, child. What he say that now? Who making that macaroni and cheese? That's like how you come off. And I think that people just assume a feminine person, that you're an effeminate guy, because I think you are perpetuating the environment that you grew up in. That's what I'm getting from you. But I will say this. Oh, and this is who I'm talking about, because I realize you are all new to these characters. This is who I'm talking about. I like him. But I saw a bit more of him when he checked Silas, and I appreciated that. I really liked that. I really liked how he got him together, because it was needed. I will say, I like how, and it could just because these men are on camera, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that this is who they are. I like how Silas has men around him who will keep him accountable. Nobody was agreeing with that misogynistic mess he was saying at that table. Everybody was pushing back. Everybody was checking him. Everybody was talking about his double standards. Even when he was talking about Jasmine, you can tell that I'm really upset about it. I just caught a glimpse of myself. I'm like, oh, I'm doing a lot with the neck, but I don't like it, because he's going to talk about his wife. This is Silas, Lil Bill, and this is his wife, Jasmine. Real quickly, Jasmine, I know that you were telling this story because it is a way for us to introduce you, and everybody likes to assign a sob story to a Black character on the show. I wish you would not have told this audience that you were homeless, because every time you do something, it's always, oh, she don't want to be homeless again. That's why she's saying it. And I'm like, maybe she really likes Silas. But every time Silas does something terrible, people are like, oh, well, she don't want to be homeless again, so she's going to accept it. Girl, y'all can always lie to the audience. I'm telling you, it's better for you, because now people have assigned homelessness and desperation to you. So every time you do something, people are like, oh, it's because you don't want to be homeless again. And she probably really, really liked that guy. I mean, and she seems to enjoy the jackhammer, and she does a lot of screaming, so much that poor Amir is traumatized and he can't sleep. But anyway, Silas says to the men about his wife, Jasmine, he says, well, I know we're on vacation, but Jasmine's acting like she's on vacation and she doesn't keep up our routine. So she makes breakfast, but she's making breakfast late, not at the normal time. And she's not making it all the time. And when she does make it, it's not that great. Now, I can make breakfast, but that's not our routine. Let me tell you something. Straight women are living in hell. Straight women are living in hell. Now, I've watched Queer Ultimatum. I got a couple of episodes left. I will say the queers are living in hell as well. But my God, today, we're living in the hottest part. We're living in the hottest part. Because how do you say out of your mouth about your wife? Yes, we're both on vacation, but she shouldn't act like she's on vacation. We have a routine. Get up and make me breakfast. Why can't you do it? Oh, I can do it, but it won't be great. But that's not our routine. Okay, you're on vacation. She can't sleep late. You can't make her breakfast. What is it with men and food? That is such a weird thing. That is something I've never understood. The whole thing of way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Eat on. All of that is just like, oh, men love a woman that's able to cook. Y'all can't make a sandwich? Y'all know how to chop up some tomatoes and a little bit of white wine and some butter and basil and make a sauce for some pasta? Because how are y'all living on your own before you get into a relationship with a woman? That's crazy. That is so crazy how as soon as a man gets into a relationship with a woman, or if he gets married, it's all of a sudden he don't know how to cook for himself. He don't know how to bathe. He don't know nothing about them damn kids. One of the dudes from what is that show? Love and Marriage Huntsville went viral because his wife went out of town, and there was a clip that somebody put on Twitter. His wife had went out of town, and he was making, his kids was like, "Oh, Dad, we're hungry." They had first of all, they had to get their father out of the bed. The kids are saying, "Dad, we're hungry. We want something to eat," and they wanted different things, and he got frustrated. So the little girl wanted waffles, and he was just, the other boy, he didn't want it, so he was just like, "I'll make you a sandwich. I'll make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich." And the son goes, "Dad." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "I'm allergic to peanuts." And the dad goes, "What, really?" And then there were a bunch of women, a bunch of wives and mothers in the comments saying, "Oh yeah, this is a common occurrence in my household. My husband doesn't know anything about our kids. He doesn't know any of their birthdays. He doesn't know any of their medical conditions. He doesn't know when they were born. He doesn't know their middle names. I have all of the medical records, and if I leave out of town or if I leave him with the kids for 5 minutes, I have to let him know what to do." Something is wrong with that. Something is wrong with that. And somehow being the single cat lady doesn't sound so bad. That's crazy. Because Silas even says out of his mouth, "I can make the breakfast, but she does it. That's our routine for her to do it." And see, this is why you always got to have your own damn money. Because Jasmine, I think he talks to you like that and talks about you like that because he pays for everything. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm going to be Gabrielle Union in this relationship. We 50-50, nigga, you know. Oops, let's move on. Girl, let's move on. Forgive me. Anyway, not this cast folded when a white man brought them some watches. Remember when it was all like Simon can only stay for 3 days? Simon brings them watches and they're all like, "Oh, we love Simon. He's a great guy. He can stay." Speaking of Simon, I know that he's Bria's boyfriend and I get it, but it's very weird for this show to preach Black excellence and then bring on, not only do they bring on a white character, right? Because this is the thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You know, I have a diverse friends group. If I was ever to do something like that, my friends group will look really different, right? So I'd have a problem with it. But it's the way this show was marketed to us, that it was a Black excellence show, and it's this Black cast on this Black island doing great Black things, Black love, Black power, and then this rich white guy comes in, and all of a sudden, all these Black excellent folks start salivating at the mouth because of him and all his money. It's weird. It felt really weird. I mean, I think it probably would have been better if they would not have led with him being so wealthy, because just to see them tap dancing for this man because he got them a watch was, I didn't feel like it was selling the theme that they tried to sell to us. What do y'all think? We can talk about it later. Jasmine crying about being the married friend. A lot of people on Twitter hopped on her about it and it was just like, "Oh, well, you isolated yourself." She did, and I will give you that. Jasmine starts crying when they're talking about relationships because she says it's really hard being the married friend in this group. And then she starts crying. And people are like, and even Bria, she says, "Well, you isolated yourself, Jasmine." And again, I agree with that. But I also think that Jasmine isolated herself because she's not happy. I think that, she's a newlywed, so it's all really new and there's growing pains. But I also think that she's finding out with everybody in the house that she misses her old life. And I honestly feel like if this platform gives her the opportunity to have some independence, that relationship is going to change. Her marriage is going to change drastically. And I hate to see any relationship fall apart, but I feel like this might be one of the marriages that another marriage lost to Bravo, because I feel like if she gets some financial independence and some notoriety as a reality star, performer, or whatever it is, I think we're going to see a different Jasmine. Because right now they're in the Cooper phase, right? We're the Coopers. This is how our relationship should be. And, this military guy has crafted out their identity. But I think when she's getting around her friends, she's starting to miss who she was, because she's basically just given up herself to this marriage. And I think she's starting to regret it, which is very sad. Very, very sad. This show does not need to get dark. It needs to be fun. I love Preston. He is the voice of reason on this show. You absolutely need a character like this, because in one breath, he's telling Silas, I don't want to have another house meeting. I'm good. Because Bria's dog pooped on a couch. Let me tell you something. I love watching this show and going to Twitter, because if you are not Black, you do not get why everybody is not featuring Milo. If you are not Black, you do not understand. In Black households, a pet is a pet. Even if we say, oh, this is my daughter, this is my family, we try to get real cute. At the end of the day, that's an animal. At the end of the day, right? So Bria's dog, Milo, poops on the floor. Nobody picks it up. Everybody is like outraged, leaves it. Everybody's telling somebody about the poop. And then Silas, they go to Silas, right? Because it's him and Jasmine's trip. And they tell him about it. He walks by Bria's room and goes, let's have a house meeting about the poop. Preston was like, I'm not doing that. Preston was like, I'm on vacation. I'm not having another house meeting. We have far too many house meetings about the most trivial things. I'm not doing no more of that. If you have a problem with the poop, pick it up. And then Silas is just like, well, no, it's not my dog. It's Bria's dog. And he was like, so why did you walk by Bria's door to come here? You made more work for yourself. I was like, yes, Preston, get him together. He read Silas for filth. Silas was so hurt, but Preston did not care. He's just like, you're doing too much. Like, this is the thing. Silas and Jasmine, we all know that Bravo paid for this home, right? And just made you the head of this trip as the characters. But we all know that you don't have to put this house back together, right? We all know that if you don't put a chair back, that you're not going to get, downvoted on Airbnb. This is Bravo's home. This is on Bravo's dime. You and Silas are doing a bit too much, and it's getting on everybody's nerves, including the cast. Chill. Nobody has a problem that y'all are a married couple. It's that you guys have made your identity as your identity is being married and annoying and making everybody else feel less than, when at the end of the day, this doesn't look like a good marriage to everybody. Everybody is so thankful that they're single watching you guys, to be quite honest with you. Y'all doing too much. Y'all just need to chill, have fun, relax, enjoy the popularity of this show. Amir and Jordan. I feel like next week is going to get ugly. This is Amir, who just found out that he looks like a Black person. Amir, let me tell you something. This is not the first time that I have, experienced a biracial person, especially a biracial person who is mixed with Black ethnicity, who, or Black DNA, who thought they looked not Black. I went to a camp with this girl, a performing arts camp with this girl who swore up and down that she was white passing. swore up and down. Like, even when she introduced herself to us, she was just like, yeah, I know a lot of people think that I'm white, but I'm not. I think she said, I'm actually Native American and Irish. Poor thing. I hope she's doing well today. And as soon as she said that, Teresa, if you're watching, you know who I'm talking about. My friend Teresa, who's biracial, was like, girl, what? Teresa could not wait to get away from that girl to drag her. She was like Native American and Irish. But she swore that she looked Irish. Even white people thought she was black. Like, it was insane the way she saw herself. So when we're watching Amir on this show, I am not shocked because I feel like there are a lot of, well, long story short, what that girl is, her father actually came up to the camp on family day and she did not know he would. Whole black man. Teresa was like, is that your Irish father? A mess. Oh, we were a mess as kids. Anyway, that girl never spoke to us again after that. I'm like, I ain't even say nothing. Why you mad at me? Teresa said it. Anyway, but that was like my first experience. But I've realized, as you know, coming out of Philly and just experiencing, people all over the world, in my experience, I have realized that there are a lot of people who do not know that they don't look how they look. Recently, a guy on Twitter got dragged because he was talking about how he was white passing, and everybody was just like, who are you white passing to? Not nobody over here. Like, everybody can see that you're a black person. But I've realized that it's not weird for Amir to think that he does not look black. Because everybody thought he was a light-skinned brother. But I don't think, but for him, he does not see that. And that's not a weird thing. That's very normal because a lot of people, a lot of multiracial people do struggle with that. And it's just so weird because even with the experience, he still saw himself as something else. Crazy, but that's normal. It happens a lot. I said all that to say, Amir and Jasmine are putting on this relationship for TV. I don't think they like each other. I don't think that they have any interest outside of what this looks like on the show as a storyline. Because I gotta be honest with you, I don't get that Amir is attracted to Jordan for obvious reasons. I do not think that she is his type. I don't think that Amir is Jordan's type. So I'm just not buying the relationship. I'm not. Unfortunately, it's going to get real ugly because I think that Jordan is going to lean into this character a little bit too much next week and it's going to make Amir look like something. And I see it not going in a good place. But I don't really feel like this relationship is that big of a deal because I just don't think it's real. I just don't believe it. Neither one of them give off attraction vibes. They don't seem like they would be interested in each other. And I just do not see Amir salivating over a sister. No shade. But I don't think that that's his stilo. Have we talked about being sexually harassed with the sex scenes from the Coopers? Because I feel like at this point, that's what it is. Like, none of us want it. Everybody is being in the summer house home is being harassed by it. The viewers are being harassed by it. I have seen so much of Jasmine and Silas unwarranted. We don't need to get the sex scenes from the Coopers every episode. I feel like you did it once. It was a throwback to old summer house. We get it. Let's move on. This is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. Since we're talking about sexual assault and consent, Shanice, this is the thing. A lot of people were not on Bria's side because Bria's a lot. Bria, I've already said that you are a Karen and a lace front. So a lot of people were not on Bria's side with this, but Bria was right in a sense. So everybody's hanging out at the jacuzzi. Shanice comes back. Shanice, the fun friend, right? And that is her character. The fun friend decides to get butt ball naked and get in the jacuzzi with the men. Bria gets upset because her boyfriend is in that jacuzzi and he's looking at Shanice's titties and Gucci, and he's not going anywhere. So Bria gets upset and everybody's like, "Oh, shut up, Bria, you're drunk," or whatever. So nobody's like really listening to her. And even the next day, Preston tells Bria, he's just like, "Do you realize you're the common denominator in all the conflict in the house?" Bria was like, "Who, me?" Preston was like, "Yes, you. You were always in some mess in the house." And then Bria calls her mom, and Bria's like, "Oh, well, you know how Shanice is. Nobody is on your side, not even your mother. Girl, you be stressing people out." But I will get on her side. Ugh. I don't know what's going on. What the hell? I will be on her side for this one because, and this has nothing to do with Simon, but it does have to do with the men. Because even Shanice says she asked Simon, child, Shanice says she asked Simon if she could get naked. This is Shanice. Where's that picture? I thought I had Shanice's picture. This is Summer. Her and Shanice look alike. I'm going to give you that. This is, if you would put a curly wig, a curly blonde wig on Summer, Shanice. So anyway, Shanice said that she asked Simon, and Simon said that it was okay for her to get naked in the jacuzzi, right? But Bria's upset about it. She doesn't like it. This is what I want to say, because even if Shanice asked Simon, she did not ask the other men. Even Jason in his confession, he was just like, "I just look over and it's titties out, titties out." Shanice did not ask. She did not ask if the men were consented to witnessing her naked, but fully naked, breast, butt, coochie, everything out. She did not ask anybody. Now, yes, her and Bria were in the pool skinny dipping, right? But when the men came in the home, all of the women got dressed, right? They were having a girls' time. They all were comfortable with it. When the men came in the home, all of the women got dressed. Shanice did not ask anyone if they were okay with her getting naked, aside from Simon. That's who she says that she asked, allegedly. So my issue here is, if it was any other person that did it, let Preston have done it. My God, today that house would have flipped upside down, right? If it were any of the men who would have done such a thing, this show would have never made it to post. Complete double standard, and Shanice, in my opinion, was just out of line. Nobody consented, aside from Simon, to witnessing her naked body. And this, Shanice, and there's also something to be said about how you feel like you constantly have to get naked in front of these men. Like something is something is up. Because it's just like these men are essentially strangers to you. At least you're starting to meet a few of these guys. And your first thought is to get butt ball naked as a woman in 2023? What is your environment where you ever felt like that was a smart and safe thing to do? Listen, I'm pro-woman. Do whatever it is you want to do with your body, but make sure that everybody that you are doing this with is consenting to that. So after that, Shanice and Bria get into something, and everybody, because Bria is annoying, doesn't agree, right? So right after that, Shanice the next day bears her breasts at brunch. And now Jasmine got a problem with it because Silas, who was acting like he wasn't looking, Silas was like, "Oh, that's not cool, man. That's not cool." Boy. So now Jasmine has a problem with it because Shanice did this in front of her husband. I will say this though, Jasmine, you did not care when Shanice did that in front of Simon and all the other men. But now you're mad that she's doing it in front of your husband. Now it's not cool. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. The last thing I want to say is this. Silas gives me this is why I'm so shocked. I have to be honest with you. I'm so shocked that Silas married an African-American woman, because the energy that he gives off is very Emmanuel Acho, right? Very first gen African immigrant, Black African immigrant, who has a disdain for Black Americans. I'm telling you, I get the same thing from him that I get from Amir, right? I've always said that I feel like Amir is one episode away from saying that Black people never accepted him, right? And I feel like Silas is an episode away from calling Black Americans lazy, right? From saying that they don't appreciate everything that they have. And that, what's another thing? And that they don't know their culture. I feel like it's coming. I feel like it's coming from him. Every time he talks about being a refugee, I always feel like there's a sentence that was cut out, and that sentence was attacking Black Americans. I get that from him. I get that from him. And I'm never wrong on stuff like that. I'm never wrong. He probably already said it. They probably cut it out because it was like it would change the energy of the show, because they know that probably their audience, the large fan base of the show, is going to be Black Americans. So they probably cut that stuff out. But I feel that from him, which is why I'm so shocked that he's married to a African American woman. Your family approved? Shocked. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about this show. What do you guys think? Let's get into the comments. NTR said, the weirdest thing about this passing thing is that these people even had these thoughts. Supremacists take no breaks in filling people's minds with mess. You are right. You are right. Courtney said, Nikki, you are doing the Lord's work. This road trip has been enjoyable. Still 2 hours to go. OMG, I'm glad that we could give you some fun during your road trip, Courtney. Yasmin said, I'm Afro-Cuban and some of my cousins want to be white so bad. Because it's power. It's power. It's money. No, she was trying to say white. I'm telling you, she was trying to say white, because even, who was it? It wasn't Teresa. Was it Lorenzo? I think it was Lorenzo who said Black Irish, because that was a big joke back in the day, because whatever movie that Bernie Mac did where he said that he was Black Irish, like that was like something that was like that everybody started saying after that. So Lorenzo went Black Irish and she was like, huh? She was like, no. She was like, no, Irish. My mom is Irish. That's why a lot of people think, that I'm white, but I'm also Native American. That's the thing that blew us. We thought she was going to say Black. We was like, Native American. What the hell are you talking about? Me and this girl has the same hair. Has the same hair. She was a brown-skinned girl. Thick. And telling us that she's Native American. And child, poor thing. Oh, yeah, I actually met Teresa on when we did group chat. She was not for the mess. She could not stand. Yeah, that's what everybody was saying. NTR, that's what everybody on Twitter was saying. Everybody was like, Amir said that he was past. What is he talking about? Amir looks Black, but he don't think that. He does not think that he looks like that. He thinks that he looks Middle Eastern. And I could get that too. But I'm like, it's giving Negro. Yes, Tiny, he did. That's what he thinks, though. That's what he thinks. Gossip and Grigio said, my dad is an a-hole, but even he knew I had medical issues and allergies. Missed you too, sup, people. Beck said, I'm out. Thanks for the company. The NikkiStar fam. I know that's right. Have a wonderful weekend. You too, Bex. Doesn't sound like a bad idea. That dude was about to kill his kid with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I had no idea. Had no idea. Classy lady said, remember that song, T-shirt and my panties on? Made T-shirt sexy. I don't know what Tom is talking about. Oh, yeah. T-shirt and my panties. Classy lady, were we old enough to be singing it? This is Summer House Martha's Vineyard Bex, and it's the first season. Ryan said Silas called into Kempire's review of the show this week. Oh, he acknowledged that he looked bad and said him and Jasmine are in therapy. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. That is great. I love that. Look at that growth. Growth. Give me shelter. I'm not touching that. Satu said she was playing the spoiled brat then, but I don't feel like Mariah was playing when she was betrayed by Jasmine. I really hope this show gets a reunion because I really want to know where Jasmine and Mariah are at this point, because Mariah has every right to not talk to her ever again. Every right. Coos Curly said, I don't know how I ended up in the pickpocket corner of TikTok, but it has me shook. That lady is my favorite. Attenzione! Attenzione! Thank you, Joe. Thank you for the super chat. Oh my gosh. It's too much, JB says what? It's too much. No, I feel like I'm good on Italy. I feel like I'm good on Italy. The racism, the pickpockets, I'm good. I still think I want to travel there, but maybe like a day trip and just eat my way through Italy. Got this one. Oh, classy lady, I don't think I gave you this. Thank you for the super chat. Let me get some more recent comments. Asatu says she's on vacation. She can chill. Talk about Jasmine. Make breakfast, sir. The irony is that most of these famous chefs in the world are men. Oh, pure misogyny. There's no way. First of all, the majority of the famous chefs and the Michelin star chefs are white men. You mean to tell me white men is cooking like that in the home? Get out of here. Get out of here. Misogyny and racism. Misogyny and racism. That is the only reason why they are top chefs. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. The only white chef I will give their flowers is Gordon Ramsay and Bobby Flay. Have you ever had a Bobby Flay burger? Listen. And my Gordon Ramsay, his restaurant catered my best friend's wedding. And my God, that food was delicious. It got so bad that we were all waiting at the door for them to come out with more plates. It was like, I forget what you call it, what kind of reception, but it was like whatever those people are. It wasn't like a plated reception. It was just multiple people just coming out with these like plates of food or whatever. A little plate, like a tapas. Is that like tapas? Yeah, it was like a tapas thing. So there was just like random food just coming around all the time. And it got so bad that me and my bestie Dustin were waiting at the door for them to come out with food. OMG, that food was delicious. Gordon Ramsay, listen, racism and misogyny probably benefited him, but he got the gift. He got the gift. That food was delicious. That food was delicious. Asatu also said Silas is a white terrorizer and Bria is manipulative. Very, very true. Very, very true. I'm so glad that he's doing better now. That him and Jasmine are on third. Yeah, I love that they're trying to save it. I love that they're trying to save this relationship. Because at the end of the day, you're marrying a stranger for the rest of your life, right? You got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. Oh, great. I love that, Mademoiselle. Mademoiselle says Silas was on Empire. He said they got together 3 years after she was homeless. Yes, put that out there. Put that out there because everybody is assigning her desperation and homelessness to her being with you. OMG. Exactly. Exactly. That's why I don't stay at Airbnbs. Oh, I stay in hotels on vacation or resorts. I'm not cooking a damn thing. And I love to cook. Absolutely. Absolutely. I cannot believe he said that. Sure, I can make breakfast, but that's not our routine. Are you hungry? What were you doing when you were single? What were you doing when you were single? Get out of here. TT said, but isn't it funny how Jasmine could not get free drinks and was ready to get poisoned by some random chicks and don't have the wedding ring on. And the men called that out. I love that the men called that out. I love that the men called that out. Yasmin said, the bar's in hell for these men. I wish my husband would tell me to make breakfast ever on vacation. Like, first of all, if me and my hubby are on vacation, first of all, I'm a Yelper and I'm a foodie. So I done already looked up every restaurant, every breakfast spot, every lunch spot, every dessert spot. So we're going to different places every day. Why you want my cooking on vacation? I know it's delicious, but we on vacation. Let's go to this restaurant. Let's go to this cafe. Let's go to this breakfast bar. Like, what are we doing? I know, but I don't want to get in trouble by YouTube. This is so specific, CM. I had to watch it back because did I do what he did too? Remember, he was like, oh, OMG. Courtney said, oh yeah, the watches thing was weird. I wish he could have just came in the house like a normal guy. He was more flashy than the black excellence that they were supposed to be in awe of. Yeah, I think it was just how they sold the show. I think if they didn't sell the show like that, it would have been fine. But for y'all to be like, oh no, we don't feel comfortable with him being here. And then he comes in and you guys are like, oh my goodness, Simon is so wealthy. Look, he gave us a watch. We love him. He can stay. Very weird. Very weird. JB says, what's that? Marlo is the star of the show, and I love Preston. Yep. Well, because Bria, like Preston said, Teresa, she has been the cause of all the conflict in the home. Like, and Silas probably, especially after they got into their shouting match, does not want to deal with her on his own. And I understand that, but I'm with Preston for no more meetings. It's rude, it's inconsiderate, and it also feels like an intentional jab, right? It feels like a stroke of the ego for Silas. Because even when the house complained that they were too loud, Jasmine was just like, she's just like, I'll be quiet this time. And Silas was just like, oh no, I don't like it. I need you to scream. It doesn't feel good, or I'm uncomfortable when you're not vocal. So he needed that validation, not her orgasming. And so for me, I'm just like, she probably don't. Because shouldn't that be enough? Shouldn't that be enough to let you know that you're doing something right? Why she got to do all that screaming? It's the orgasm that you should be going for, right? Ciao. Single cat lady don't look so bad. Asato said, Nikki, do you know how Lebanese people look? I would be honest with you, not really. Nope. Nope. And I probably have seen Lebanese people and probably mixed them up with, Puerto Ricans. I wouldn't know. I don't think I've ever met a Lebanesian person. I probably have, but I probably just never know. Right? Amir looks closer to Maher Zain than to my black self. I knew he was mixed as soon as I saw him. He looks black to me. He looks black to me. But again, we're the first people, so everybody kind of look like us. This is the thing, B Stokes. I feel like Jordan is playing the character. I feel like she's playing the character. And I think they're all playing characters. And so that's why I'm just like, let them have this season of being annoying and getting things wrong and being all wonky, because this is new for them and they don't know yet how the audience is going to perceive them, throughout the whole season. I think they're going to come back bigger and better next season, because I think the Bravo's going to give them another season. Tia Bia. Teresa said, if Bria and Simon are as European as they claim to be, the nudity. Ooh. But listen, Shanice said that she asked Simon and it wasn't, he said yes, it was fine. So it probably wasn't a big deal for him, but it's still just like, girl, you didn't ask Jason, you didn't ask Preston, you didn't ask Nick, you didn't ask Jiminy Cricket. Like, you have to ask these people. Little Bill wasn't out there, so you're safe. But it's like, you have to still say, is it okay for me to show my body, my naked body? Because had a man done that, come on. Not at all. But she admitted to it. She was like, yeah, I did that. I was in the bushes. I like her. I just need her to have a bit more tact. She got to have some like situational awareness and some wisdom. Like, girl. I think, Courtney, it was storyline. Because she was leading with, I don't know if men really like me for me or because of Playboy. And that just made no sense because these are Black people, right? But I think that was her storyline, that she's the hot single friend. I think that's storyline. Oh, Osman's opinion says Simon never said yes. Oh my God, we almost been on here for 3 hours. I gotta get off of here. He told Shanice to ask Bria. Oh, I never knew that. Let me get like 3 more and then get out of here. I'm looking at the time. Like, child, this is too much. Oh, Emerald Lagasse. Yes, he's good too. Alex Gersheli. Yup. Osman's opinion said, I do, but that's my point. He passes this, but we still talking about Amir? He would get treated as a Black man out in the world. I don't think white people will recognize that he's mixed background, especially with the fade. Yeah, that's the thing. He looks and presents Black. He may, look Arab, but we're talking about in America, right? Where America is not as diverse as they try to put on. And if he grew up in a white neighborhood, they're seeing a Black man. And to be quite honest with you, it's better for him to be perceived as Black than Arab in America. Things ain't been the same since 9/11. Just telling the truth. Teresa said, my girl won a James Beard Award and they came for her for speaking out against abuse and harassment against women in the industry. Of course. It's a man's world, a man's industry. That Caucasian can cook. He can cook. He knows what he's doing. Let me tell you something. Asatu and Osman, y'all going after it. Y'all are going after it. Keep it friendly, though. Keep it friendly. Hey, Spicy. Spicy said, hey, 23 and Misha's, y'all killing them. Okay. Girl. What happened to the money? What happened to his father's money? Child, did they lose it in lawsuits? Child. Sasu said, ooh, I saw one of Gordon Ramsay's burger receipts. I was disgusted. Too much butter. I will say this. Gordon Ramsay can cook. I love a Bobby Flay burger over a Gordon Ramsay's burger. But I only tried 1.5 because I went to his burger spot in Vegas. And I did not stay long because Vegas got a problem with smoke. I don't understand how people are just like able to sit in them restaurants with all of like that smoke. Like that's crazy because like every restaurant is connected to a casino and everybody just smokes. And I'm like, how are y'all doing this? How are y'all doing this? I could not do it. Oh, I did. I'm sorry. Let me catch it. Let me catch it. Here we go. I got it. Thank you, Asatu. Asatu said, it was not in Paris, but in Cannes. Well, Cannes has racist people, but how ironic that they treated and gaslighted her the same way she did with Mariah. Child. Thank you so much, Asatu, for the super chat. Now, guys, I got to get out of here because my maintenance man is on his way back. And I don't need that man up in my business. Anyway, guys, I've missed you and I've had such a good time. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh my God, we have been on here for forever. Let me get off of here, put in my timestamps, and I'll probably see you if not Saturday, then Sunday. But I'm putting up recorded reviews, and then we'll get back to the lives on Monday. Love you all so much. Miss you much. Thank you for spending time with me, and I will see you soon for something else. Love you. Bye. Mwah. Asatu and Osman's opinion.